Hi, Genki Call here with the Let Mercy Be Done world event for the week of March 20th, 2023. The lore comes first. So, once we had gained their trust, the priestesses of Orpheus were the most helpful yet. They sang of a spirit window in the mirrored halls that was the source of the Raven King's power. And they also sang of an ancient hammer. Oops, little mistake there. Guarded by the crypt keepers that could shatter it. It was time for a visit to the underworld. Mirrored Halls is not where we're going this week, though. We're not going to Mirrored Halls. We're going to Depths of Sin. Anyway, here we go. Let mercy be done. Let's go over the scoring first. As you can see, we've got two different types. Yay. As far as the scoring goes, let me pull that up for you. The new troop, the Bane of Mercy, is going to give the most points, and she's going to give you more points for each consecutive battle or each battle that you do with her. The thing is, she's only going to show up every 5th fight. So if you miss her, you have to wait and win 4 more fights before you'll see her again. So be sure you always grab the Bane of Mercy. After that, it is in rarity order after the Bane of Mercy, except for the Bane of Mercy. So Mythic and then everything else. And just remember, on the Legendaries, Angry Boy is the one that gets the most points. Mr. Wrath. All of the battles except for the Bane of Mercy will get variable points. So the points that you see here may be different because of the variable, but Bane of Mercy, be sure to grab that every time you see it. As far as teams go, this week is going to suck for you if you don't have Venoxia. It just is. But I did come up with one team for people with no legendaries, and that is this. The Black Manacles is free if you, when you get your brown and purple mana mastery up. This does damage to all enemies, and there's a chance to devour as well, so that is always a nice thing, of course. Baba Yaga will hit 2 enemies, thankfully, and silence them, and then summon Yaga's hut, and Yaga's hut can do some major damage if anything is silenced. You know, if you happen to end up summoning. Azura is here for bonus mana generation, and then the Leprechaun is here for the fast mana start. Also for the Nature Link is very good. Now, I'm going to say right up front, I did not put Thrall on any of these teams. He's not there because every troop that you're using is going to be having to use purple. And since he uses purple only, I don't feel comfortable running with Thrall at the front of my team. And I also don't want to delay the mana generation. So I'm using Leprechaun for all of these teams, but as you can see, there are other options. There are some very good options for mana generation, but I love my Leprechaun because he's empowered. Anyway, let's take this in. Bum, bum, ba bum, ba bum, ba bum, ba bum, ba bum. Grabbing the next team code. Alright, let's blow things up. And we're just gonna go ahead and we gotta devour. Yee. I love the graphics for the Devour, it makes me happy. Alright, so Angry Boy over despawned, so we're gonna do this next. I'm gonna go ahead and use this again. So low level right now, I can't really show you, but Azura is going to blow up all of the blue gems on the board, which, you know, go ahead and do that. Ta-da. Ah, there we go. Anyway, got another devour. If I could speak, it would help. Alright, next team, we're moving on to Venoxia teams. Now, Pride is not going to be worth as much because it's an epic, not a legendary. So we'll go for Angry Boy again, and for this one, something a little different. I recommend, if you don't have the Forbidden Tome, just go in here and sort by purple and blue, because Venoxia is going to grab some blue. I mean, create some blue. So having, I'd say, Arboreal Crystal, Forbidden Tome, Foxglove, those three are all going to be very, very good. Of course, that is totally personal preference, but you don't have to use something that will pick up the blue either. It's just really efficient, and I like that. But I chose Forbidden Tome because it is something different. It's going to steal magic from an enemy, shift it to attack, and then enrage yourself. So you're going to do some major damage with skulls with this thing. Um, and I am running with Archer class, so there's a chance that you're going to insta-kill. But if you want to protect yourself, use Elementalist, of course. If you want... Anyway, this is going to be super, super useful to use against high-level Scourge of Honor, because Scourge of Honor will mess up your day with that true damage that he does, but you steal his magic and you're kind of castrating him a little bit. So, just saying. Venoxia does damage to all enemies. It's true damage. Love that. Creates the 9 blue and green gems. Yeah, Leprechaun is mana block down here, but it doesn't matter because Venoxia creates so much mana for the team. And Oneiros is here because he's going to keep your enemies from casting by draining mana from all of them, and he's going to Fairy Fire and burn them. The Fairy Fire is going to make Venoxia do an extra 50% damage with the spells. So if you don't have 2 Venoxia, this is a really good option. I'll do that. Love my Venoxia, I do. Almost as much as Queen Beatrix. Beatrix seems to loop a little better than Venoxia does, but it's a great second option. So I still don't have anything good to steal magic from, but you know, like this guy, doesn't matter if you steal his magic. There's no purple on the card. No purple on the card. No purple on the card. Meh. You're ruining my visual here, buddy. All right. Next up, we have another Venoxia team. And you know I had to do it. 2 Venoxia. Only this time I'm using Arboreal Crystal because this creates blue and green. It's going to feed... They're all going to... These are... blooper, hold on. It's just going to create a ton of mana. It's going to feed into Arboreal Crystal, and the nice thing about Arboreal Crystal, it's going to create a leaf storm. So you're going to have lots of green. I'm using Archer on this again. Of course, Elementalist is going to be safest, but I chose Archer because, you know, you can insta-kill with the skulls and also the leaf storm at the beginning. So, bum bum bum. Let's take this one in. Grab the next team code while that's loading. Now, yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. Right. So I'm just going to go ahead and blow things up with this because I can. Of course, it would have been more efficient to do with this, but that should have started a leaf storm. I should have reset the leaf storm. Oh well. Alright, so there is that option. Let me show that one more time. Let's go for this guy once again, and then I've got a couple of teams with Mythics. And we'll go ahead and do this because lots and lots of mana gen. You saw that the second Venoxia filled right up. That's kind of what I wanted to show. Wrath again, and next up we've got, well, first I want to show that there are, if you don't have Venoxia, there are two other things you can use. I recommend, if you don't have Venoxia, use with Despond if you can. Not Despond, I'm sorry. Oneiros for the Fairy Fire. Psion will drain mana from all enemies, keep them from casting. It's true scatter damage. It doesn't do very much, but with the Fairy Fire, it's going to do more damage, so that will help. And then the Spooky Imp does damage. You're going to want to make lots of purple matches because every time you match purple, you get more mana. But this week's options just aren't great. They just aren't. Most of them are mana generators. I'm using Assassin with this for the Dark Storm at the beginning, and you can certainly go with a Leaf Storm instead if you wish, but I just kind of wanted the purple with this starting out, and also because Assassin, you've got this, you've got if you have it, if you've got it traded up, you've got the Swift Curse, you've got Rising Shadows. So, now, Deathlock Dreilack. I wanted to specifically point out that with Deathlock Dreilack, he's going to do damage to an enemy and all enemies below them. So you want to always hit the top troop if you can. And you'll be able to unless they're stealthy. So, also, does not matter if they're submerged, does not matter if there is a troop missing between them. This is not scatter damage, so kind of want to just get some mana for Deathlock Dreilack. Not the most efficient of teams because you're running... Oh, I forgot. He doesn't do damage to the top troop. He only death marks them. Deathlock Dreilack, you suck. He only death marks them. Alright, so maybe not Deathlock Dreilack, but there are two others that I put in the description that you can use instead that are going to be better, not just because he doesn't do damage to all enemies and he sucks in that way, but because they're going to be just really, they do true damage that will work really well with Venoxia. Those are Suna and the Gemini. Either one of these is going to be good in there if you don't have Arachnaean Weaver. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and switch, and I'll show you the last one. This video is long enough. So, this is one of my favorite teams of all time. If it had... this is my favorite Arachnaean Weaver team if you put Beatrix here. You're not picking up the blue from Venoxia. It doesn't matter. This team rocks either way. And if you want to pick up the blue, put in the Forbidden Tome or, you know, the other thing. The other thing, the Arboreal Crystal or whatever you feel like. So I'm going to use this one more time and continue explaining. So, Venoxia is going to feed everything below it, and of course we've got fast mana here. And the nice thing about Arachnaean Weaver is once you get them down in kill range for Arachnaean Weaver, it explodes the board and gets you more mana. Wahaha! Love that, but I just wanted to show you that. Anyway, that is what I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Also, I hope that you can find a team that will work for you this week if you don't have Venoxia. I mean, the options are just pretty crappy. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you folks soon. Bye-bye!